Hello children, welcome to the third session of control and coordination. So in the previous class we have learnt about control and coordination in humans via the nervous system, coordination in plants, and in today's class we are going to learn about endocrine system in humans. So before starting the chapter, I would like all of you to open your running notes and make a list of important points. So coming to the chapter, endocrine system in humans. What is this endocrine system? So what is the function of this endocrine system? So you know that humans have a nervous system. Despite of having a nervous system, do you think that endocrine system is necessary for humans? Well, you have few reasons for this. So nerve impulses are transmitted to the cells in which they are connected to the nervous system. So here there are some situations like stress where it requires a simultaneous association of various organs in order to tackle the situation. So in this case, nervous system will not work out. So endocrine system is required as it releases certain hormones to the target sites which involves an immediate response. Okay, so this is the first reason. The second one is cells cannot continuously create a nerve impulse. There are some processes like growth, development, or you can say reproduction. These are very, very slow in which a nervous system cannot tackle the situation. So here endocrine system is necessary, which involves the release of certain chemical substances called hormones. So in today's chapter we will go in detail what are these hormones and how are they functioning in a human body. Okay, so what are these endocrine glands? Endocrine glands are the glands which produces chemical substances which help and coordinate various activities in the body. So here the endocrine glands are the ductless glands. Ductless glands in the sense they don't have any tubes. They immediately release the hormones into the bloodstream, where this bloodstream will carry the hormones to the target sites. You might get a doubt how these target sites will be able to identify the hormones. Okay, so here what happens is every target sites have a specific molecule on their body. So this specific molecules will identify the specific hormone. This help in the attachment of hormone to the this help in the attachment of hormone to the target site. So in this way, this hormone will go to that particular cell and causes the response. Okay, so here there are certain glands in our body. The first one is pineal gland, hypothalamus, pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid, thymus, adrenal, pancreas, testis and ovary. Okay, so these are some of the endocrine glands in human beings. So here you have various hormones and their functions. This I will tell you. So after looking at the diagram, so next you have types of hormonal imbalances. Even this I will be dealing with you like after looking at the diagram. So once you look at the diagram, you will have a clear picture like exactly where the gland is situated, what are the hormone released, what is the hormone that is released and what is the hormonal imbalance that is created. Okay, here there are some examples of coordination by endocrine. Even this slide will be taught to you later. Okay, so here this is the endocrine glands in human beings. This is the exact structure. If you remember this structure, this will be very easy for you to locate a particular gland, the hormone released and the hormonal imbalance. So listen carefully, this is a very, very important topic. So here you can see the left side of your left side, you can see the first thing is hypothalamus. So hypothalamus, you can see the exact location of hypothalamus, it is situated in the brain. Okay, next you have a pineal gland and a pituitary gland. All these are in an association. So here hypothalamus gland, and we are going to talk more about hypothalamus and pituitary gland. Here hypothalamus and pituitary gland are interlinked. So they have a communication between each other. So this hypothalamus is situated in the brain. So what are the hormones that are released? So here hypothalamus releases two hormones, that is the growth hormone and inhibitors. So here the growth hormone, what is the function of this growth hormone? This growth hormone stimulates the secretions of pituitary gland. As I told you, there is an interlink between pituitary gland and the hypothalamus. Here the growth hormone stimulates the secretions of pituitary glands. Okay, I will tell you what are the hormones secreted by the pituitary glands. And the next hormone secreted by the hypothalamus is inhibitors. So this inhibitor hormones inhibits the secretions of pituitary gland. Okay, so these are the hormones secreted by hypothalamus. Apart from this, there are two more hormones which are released by hypothalamus. So it releases a hormone called antidiuretic hormone. I will show you that in the previous slides. Okay. So here antidiuretic ADH. What is the function of this antidiuretic hormone? This antidiuretic hormone, it regulates the reabsorption of water in the kidneys. Okay, it maintains the balance in the kidneys. The other important hormone secreted by hypothalamus is oxytocin. So this oxytocin, OXYTOCIN, oxytocin is the hormone which is helpful during the birth. Okay, so these are the two hormones released by the hypothalamus gland. Okay, so I am just giving you a oral description. I will show you the hormones on the screen later on. Okay, so next is pituitary gland. So even this pituitary gland is secreted, I mean it is present in the brain, okay, just below the hypothalamus. So pituitary gland secretes a hormone called growth hormone. This growth hormone, what happens is this increase or a decrease in the growth, secretions of growth hormone lead to two major diseases called gigantism and dwarfism. So what is this gigantism? Gigant. Okay, it is bigger. So you can say by this, over secretion of pituitary gland over secretion of growth hormone leads to a condition called gigantism. And dwarfism, it is the hyposecretion, lesser secretions of growth hormone leads to dwarfism. Gigantism is very, very tall and dwarfism means very, very short. Lilliputs you say. Okay. So there is one more condition called acromegaly. So acromegaly is a condition which is seen in age group of 30 to 60 years. So the symptoms of this acromegaly is you can say enlarged lips, some abnormal conditions in the face with enlarged nose, and you can see big fingers, and the skin is not normal. So they look entirely different from normal humans. So this is the condition that is seen due to the over secretion of growth hormone. So you will see three conditions in this hormone deficiency. So the first one is gigantism, dwarfism and acromegaly. Okay. So the next gland is parathyroid gland. You can see this parathyroid gland is having two lobes that is present just beneath the thyroid gland. Okay, so since this is not a 3D structure, you will not clearly understand, but actually parathyroid gland is present just beneath the thyroid gland. So what is the hormone secreted by parathyroid gland? Parathyroid gland secretes a hormone called parathormone. Okay, so or parathyroxine is the hormone that is secreted by the parathyroid gland. Okay, so what is the function of this parathyroid gland? So this parathyroid gland hormone regulates the calcium levels in the human body. Okay, so this is the function of parathyroid gland. And next you can see, just beneath that you can see the thyroid gland. So thyroid gland, you can see two lobe-like structures present on either side of the trachea. Okay, so this is the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland secretes a hormone called thyroxine hormone. So this, what is the function of this thyroxine hormone? So you know, iodine deficiency. So people usually say iodine deficiency, so you need to take more iodine. Okay, so this is just directly related to this thyroid gland. So here this iodine is required to produce thyroxine hormone. If the iodine content is less in your body, if iodine intake is lesser in your body, what happens is you can see a swelling like condition at your throat. Okay, so in some cases you can see the throat usually swells. So this is due to the lesser secretion of thyroxine due to low levels of iodine intake in your body. So this condition, as you know, this is goiter. So that is the reason when you go to a doctor, he will take more iodine supplement if you have goiter disease. Okay, so this is due to that iodine content. Okay, so this is about thyroid gland. And next is thymus. So what is this thymus? Thymus is present on the upper side of the heart. Okay, so I will tell you what is the function of the thymus when I show you the slide. And next you can see this adrenal gland. So you can exactly see the location in the diagram. So adrenal gland is present on the kidney. So what is the function of this adrenal gland? As I told you, adrenal gland, adrenal. So the name itself suggests you the hormone secreted by this adrenal gland. It secretes a hormone called adrenaline. So this hormone, it is also called as a stress hormone or fight and flight hormone. So why you call this as a stress hormone is, this hormone is usually released when you are in stressful conditions. See, for example, when you see a dog, okay, so immediately what you will do, your body starts sweating, yes, and your heartbeat increases. And so immediately what you will do on seeing a dog, you will immediately start running. Okay, so this is due to the release of hormone called adrenaline hormone. During stressful conditions, this hormone is released. As a result, what happens is your pupil dilates and your vision is enhanced, and you will get more and more energy due to the breakdown of glucagon in your liver, and the blood flow increases, the heart rate increases, and all these symptoms are due to the release of adrenaline hormone. This prepares you to face the challenge. Okay, so this is about adrenaline hormone. And next, coming to pancreas. You can see the pancreas, it is present just below the stomach, right side of your abdomen, right? So what is the function of this pancreas? So this pancreas, it releases two hormones, or it is having, first thing, it has two cells. It has alpha cells and beta cells. So beta, so I think you must have heard these terms in your chemistry, right? So beta cells, it secretes a hormone called insulin. Okay, so insulin is the term, I think most of you have heard this term. Insulin is used in diabetic patients. Okay, this is the term used in diabetic patients. Okay, I'll tell you what is this. So here insulin, actually what happens is, insulin is usually produced in the body whenever the glucose levels or the sugar levels are higher in your body. Whenever the glucose levels are higher in your body, insulin is released so as to reduce the levels of sugar in your blood. Okay, so the alpha cells, I told you, this alpha cells releases a hormone called glucagon. So what is the function of this glucagon? This glucagon function is quite opposite to the insulin function. Glucagon increases the blood sugar level. Okay, so these are the functions of glucagon and insulin. In short, you can say it maintains the blood sugar levels in human body. So you have two conditions, that is diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus. So here in diabetes mellitus, actually you have higher sugar levels in your body, and so insulin is given, okay, in order to reduce the sugar levels, as I told you. And so this condition of increase in the blood sugar level is called as a diabetes mellitus, and decrease in the blood sugar level is called as diabetes insipidus. Okay, so that is the function of pancreas. And next you can see in the diagram ovaries. So ovaries are usually present only in the females. Okay, so what is the function of this ovary and what is the hormone that is secreted is, ovaries secretes a hormone, two hormones, estrogen and progesterone. What this hormones does is, they give you secondary sexual characters. So they give you, it increases the pelvic girdle of girls, and it increases the mammary glands, and it gives you hair in the pubic regions. And apart from this, it gives, it regulates the development of accessory sex organs. Okay, so like fallopian tube and release of eggs, all these are regulated. All these things will be discussed in your reproduction chapter in detail. Okay, so next, coming to other gland, testis. So what is this testis? Testis, it is usually present in males, and this also releases a hormone called testosterone, and this testosterone gives you male sex characteristics, and it gives primary sexual characters like beard, mustache. Okay, so hair in the pubic regions, and you see increase in the muscles. Okay, so all these things are seen as a result of this testosterone hormone, and apart from that, it also regulates the accessory sex organs like vas deferens, seminal tubules. So all these things will be discussed later on in your reproduction part. For time being, learn what is this, that's all. Okay, so these are the brief or detailed description of endocrine glands in humans. So now I will show you the slides so that you will understand the concept better. Okay, so here you can see examples of coordination by endocrine glands. The first one is adrenal glands. I told you earlier, it secretes a hormone called adrenaline hormone. So what it will do, when we are frightened or angry, the adrenal glands produce more adrenaline hormones, which is sent to the heart via the blood. Okay, rib, muscles and diaphragm. This increases breathing rate to supply more oxygen to the muscles to prepare the body to either run away or fight with the enemy. I explained you when I showed you the diagram, right? So the same thing is given on the slide. Okay, so I'll just read so that you will understand the concept in a better way. So the second point is iodine. It is needed by the thyroid gland to produce a hormone, thyroxine. Okay, so thyroxine controls the metabolism of, I told you earlier, metabolism is breakdown or formation of carbohydrates, fats, proteins that helps in the proper growth. If diet is deficient in iodine, it causes goiter. The third one is pituitary gland produces growth hormones. Okay, so the deficiency of this hormone in childhood causes dwarfism. As I told you, short, stout structure. Excess of this hormone causes tall growth, that is called as gigantism. The fourth one is pancreas produces hormone insulin, and here they didn't mention about glucagon, but I told you. So anyways, if it is not there in your textbook, you can skip it off, but still that is important. Okay, having knowledge on something is better. Okay, so which controls the blood sugar level. Increase in blood sugar level causes diabetes. So I spoke to you about diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus. Okay, so here they are talking about the diabetes mellitus. Diabetic patient have to take insulin injection to control his blood sugar level. Okay, so the fifth one is testis. In males produces the hormone testosterone, which controls the production of sperms and changes during puberty. I told you already when I have shown you the diagram. The ovary in females produces the hormone estrogen, which controls the birth rate. Okay, so this is some examples of coordination by endocrine glands. Okay, so next is types of hormonal imbalance. So before doing this, I'll show you one chart so you will be more clear with few more hormones. So hormones, here the hypothalamus gland, I told you already, secretes a hormone called antidiuretic hormone. It regulates the fluid balance inside the kidney. Pituitary gland, it secretes growth hormone, regulates the body growth. The third one is thyroid gland, it secretes thyroxine, regulates body metabolism. Pancreas, it secretes insulin and glucagon. It regulates the body sugar level. Adrenal gland, it secretes epinephrine, which regulates heart rate and blood pressure. Testes, testosterone, development of sperms and male characteristics. Ovaries, estrogen and progesterone, development of eggs and female characteristics. So all these flow charts are all these charts are a repetition. You just hold on the topic and you can make a note of important points. Okay, so that is the reason I made few slides. Okay, so here there are some types of hormonal imbalance apart from what I told you. Okay, adrenal insufficiency. Here you have a disease called Addison's disease, which is caused due to insufficient adrenal secretion. Okay, so the symptoms are fatigue, dehydration, skin changes. In this Addison's disease, this is caused due to lower secretions of adrenaline hormone. Okay, so here the symptoms of this adrenaline hormone, adrenal hormone hyposecretion is fatigue. So fatigue, it is nothing but a kind of vomiting sensation, giddiness in your body. Dehydration is loss of water, and skin changes. Okay, this indicates Addison's disease. Next is Cushing's disease, and this is caused due to the hypersecretion of pituitary gland. Okay, growth hormone secretion. Okay, so this causes a disease called as Cushing's disease. I told you some deficiency diseases. You can follow that, or you can follow this also. But whatever you feel it is important, or whatever it is there in your textbook, you can follow that things. Okay, but I am giving you this purely as an extra knowledge. Okay, next is acromegaly. I told you that is gigantism. Okay, so hypersecretion of growth hormone from the pituitary gland. It is causing this acromegaly conditions. I told you already the age. Okay, the age is 30 to 60 years. Between this age, people are more affected with this acromegaly. Okay, they are usually abnormal compared to the other humans. Hypothyroidism, it is due to oversecretion of thyroxine hormone. Hypothyroidism, lesser secretion of thyroxine hormone. Okay, so these are the types of hormonal imbalance. Everything is a repetition. Please try to remember all these things and make a note of this point. Okay, so here, so that's all about hormones. Okay, so that's all about endocrine system, and the last topic in your control and coordination is regulation of hormone production by a mechanism called feedback mechanism. So here, what is this feedback mechanism? Feedback mechanism, it is nothing but it is just a simple concept. So here, body requires a release of hormones in particular time. Okay, so whenever necessary, there should be an immediate release of hormones. So if there is a delay in the release of these hormones, there might be some drastic effects. Sometimes it may lead to death also. So our human body is designed in such a way that it has some inbuilt mechanism that is called as feedback mechanism. So I'll tell you what is this feedback mechanism. So here in this structure, in this figure you can see low blood glucose, so high blood glucose. So from this figure you can say that they are talking something about insulin and glucagon. So insulin and glucagon is secreted by which gland? It is secreted by pancreas. So here in the you can see the blue arrow. It is showing you the high blood glucose. That means here what happens whenever your body is releasing more glucose levels in your blood, what happens is this immediately triggers the pancreas, and so beta cells of pancreas are immediately triggered. Okay, so that is nothing but inbuilt mechanism. Okay, so what happens? Your beta cells of pancreas are triggered and insulin is released. So this insulin, what it will do? This reduces the blood sugar level in your body by taking the glucose from your body into the fat cells. Okay. So thereby your blood glucose level is reduced. The other side, you can see the purple line. If your body blood sugar is low, okay, so what happens immediately? This will give you a sense, or this will send an information to the alpha cells of pancreas, and so this alpha cell starts releasing the hormone called glucagon. This glucagon immediately increases your normal blood sugar level by releasing glucose from the liver. Okay, liver is the site where glucose is released, and this is released directly into the blood and thereby increasing the blood sugar level. Okay, so this is just an example to show you how a feedback mechanism works. Okay, I hope you understood the feedback mechanism. And so this is the last topic of your chapter. Okay, so thank you, and a worksheet will be given to you. Please solve that, and we'll meet in the next class. Thank you.